Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. In today's game, we should look to the war up front. The Raiders are top 10 in rushing yards, and they're going up against a 49ers team that will need to keep the running game in check. The opening kick is straight ahead, so it's time to turn it over to my colleagues, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis with the call. Gentlemen.
Larry, apart from a 13-year gap in L.A., we are at the home of the Raiders since 1966. But how much longer will they be playing football in Oakland, California? Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. It's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they've gone a full half season since their last loss, winners of 8 in a row.
And you don't get on win streaks like this without your defense playing a big role. They've created quite an identity, and I know they want and expect this streak to get to 9.
And to give this time to the tailback. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result, because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
A great return there of 22 yards. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Here to his running back and give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. He's brought down that time by a couple of Raiders. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Off the play fake. Here's Osweiler. He'll buy some time right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He got 29 yards that time. All week in practice, they stressed grounding, pounding the football, and they really executed it well there to get the first down.
That usually means getting back to being physical in practice, because when you emphasize pounding the football, it doesn't really come together unless you practice it the same way you're going to play it in the game. So that means more bodies, more pads, and a whole lot of popping last week, and they got it done in the game.
A host of Raiders in on the tackle. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2, now third down. Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. So here we go now, an extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Osweiler.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play. I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. So not exactly jubilation over on that visiting sideline, but at least a high 5 or 2 for their kicker as he gets them the first points of the night here on the opening drive.
And 3 points are not to be underestimated. You're on the road, under the lights, national TV audience. You want to come out and look good, and that's a good start right there.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
If they open things up, let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And he's got Cooper on the out route. That's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. And that was a nice play by the defense, and it is tough to be an offensive lineman nowadays, especially if you're dealing with how the defensive tackles have evolved. Their quickness, their agility, their speed has changed the big guys in the middle, the center, and the offensive guards. Formerly, they were just power players. Now they have to be light on their feet as well to keep up with the speed of the defensive players.
Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Now a play fake here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, They had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Again on 2nd and 10 now. It's Osweiler. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Okay. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. They come out here in the eye. On 3rd down, here's Hill. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
This is taken at the 23, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. The 49er defense now. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Pass interference, offense.
And a pass interference here will actually go against the offensive side of the football. Charles is a former defender. I know you can appreciate that.
Did you hear that thump when I hit the ground? I was so surprised to hear them say offense for once instead of defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He will not go. They had nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. The 20. And they do finally get him at the 12. It's a big play there for Oakland. 66 yards on the ground. He was over 100 yards a week ago, and he's well on his way once again.
Say it with me, partner. Encore, encore. This guy's headed towards getting it done one more time.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Raiders have taken the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, 49ers. Their dangerous wide receiver, 101 yards. And once again, the 49ers are back out in front.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking on some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Lynch in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. He's got time in the pocket. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken around the 12. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, 49ers. A great effort there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too? Just getting there and taking off and going. For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Here's the option going right. And some room to maneuver. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It goes as a gain of 8 and moves the chains.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a 1st down with some nice running.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this.
All right, here we go. Wide and yay.
Carr now on 1st down. He's got time. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's brought down. Give him 11 on the gain there. And the Raiders are going to have a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Here we go. Red 18.
Carr to throw on second down. That is caught at the 7-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The line of scrimmage is the 2 here on 3rd and goal. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll go backward. And the 49ers going to take another timeout. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
It's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline, somewhat happy.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Here we go. Red 18. That's red 18.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Cordero Patterson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. So they just do get the touchdown in before halftime, and now a PAT will tie it.
So what we're seeing is one team is going to be really excited right now. How about the other side, though? Will they be deflated, or will they go ahead and gather themselves, regroup at halftime, and come back out? Because we had an even half.
Yeah, we did. We'll see. Should be a good second half, that's for sure. They come out here in the eye. Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Final play of the half. It's Osweiler buying time to his left. He rifles one that's intercepted. Hey, you. Yeah, you. John. Why'd you skip Larry's halftime? I'm just kidding. I don't know who you are. But if you're John, I bet you're pretty freaked out for a second. All right, let's get to the third quarter. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Throwing now, Osweiler on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete.
Offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Mario Edwards Jr. there to bring him down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They come out here in the eye. McKinnon. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down. Here's Osweiler to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Taken right around the 44. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. We get a look now at the 49ers defense as they get into position. And they gave up a touchdown last drive. You kind of need to hit the reset button after every touchdown given up, Charles.
I love that. And the way that you phrased it is perfect because from series to series, you can reset how the game is going to go. If you gave up a touchdown before, it doesn't mean you have to do it again. And if you made a great play before, you have to reset again anyway because they're going to attack. So I love the way you phrased it and put it out there. That's what they have to do in this series.
It's not like when you're playing a video game. You can't hit the reset button here. Let's go.
No, you shouldn't anyway. That's for sure.
We ready? Wide and yay! Wide and yay!
And to give this time to the tailback. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
And that is no good. And we will remain tied here in this 3rd quarter. So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage, but you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance, it's a 50-50 proposition at best.
Yeah, the 49ers getting set to trot out there. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Play action. It's Osweiler. They'll roll him out right. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Illegal block in the back. Offense. Still 3rd down.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. He can run for it, and he will. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up first downs.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's not always as straight as that team wanted it more than the other, but on that play, it actually was true. They were faster to the ball.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Now they'll throw it with Osweiler, and this is incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
They come out here in the eye. Now McKinnon. And some room to work. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set. Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Here we go now. 3-19.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He's brought down that time by a couple of Raiders.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Back now in the East Bay. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. On second down, Osweiler. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Their dangerous wide receiver with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the 49ers have moved out in front. And he'll bang that one through. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise? Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going. Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. Crabtree with it over the middle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And the offense facing a 3rd and 6. On play action, it's Carr. Surveying the field. Look at the time. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
You can feel the anguish all the way up here. It certainly looked like he had that one in the end zone, open, unable to hold on to it.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Halfback sent in motion. On 1st down, Osweiler. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. A Again on 2nd and 10 now. It's Osweiler finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Throwing now, Osweiler on 1st down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the 4th quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football.
Face mask. Defense.
And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. So back-to-back games here of great production. And just, you know, his cuts, they're so quick last week and this week.
That comes from confidence, I think. He understands what the defense is trying to do. But I think he has so much belief in his offensive line that he's just saying, the block's going to be there. I'm not worried about it. And we saw that last week. In fact, they were so good last week on the flight home. I actually plugged in the game and watched the offensive line play one more time. I was so impressed by them. And they're carrying it over to this week. And, of course, when you got a big-time runner behind them, that's a pretty good combination.
Doesn't hurt.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the 1st down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Watch it now, Barney. Now let's go.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. Just keep the ball on the ground. Do a little pounding. Chew up some clock. If they can get it in, that might be enough to get them home. And if not, the clock is definitely their friend.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the 49ers add on to their lead. And the lead is up to 14. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you... And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. First down. Now they go screen. It's complete. No gain on the screen there. It's second down. And now they're in the hurry up. Carr to throw on second down. Finding time. Great protection. A hit as he throws there. Incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Throwing his Carr on third down. And he finds Cook. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry up. Throwing on first down is Carr. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Carr going to try and throw on third down. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
We ready? Ready.
Now Carr, got to have this one. He's got time. He's going to let it fly. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And now the 49er offense ready to go and getting back out onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more back.
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They'll come out in the pistol.
Here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down.
All right, now look at 56.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
Right there. 54. Right there. 55.
They go play action now. Osweiler steps away. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Raider D, they get the football back. And defensively, they were ready for that. A full-on blitz on fourth down, and they stop them short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make.
And now Osweiler going to turn and signal for a timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
All right, here we go.
And they'll run it here. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. This to make it a 3-score game late. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the 49ers, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the Green Bay Packers.